Hello, everyone, and welcome back to 10 Minutes Daily Cafe Chat. I'm your host, Emily.
And I'm Lisa. Good morning, everyone.
It is Tuesday, February 17th, 2026. How are you feeling today, Lisa?
I'm doing great. You know, February is such a chill month. The chaos of January is finally over and the flowers aren't quite blooming yet.
I agree. It feels like a time for a reset, doesn't it? Just clearing the air before spring arrives.
Totally. I'm actually thinking of doing some spring cleaning early. My apartment is a disaster zone of winter clothes.
That sounds productive. I find that cleaning your physical space often helps clear your mind as well.
Exactly. I want to throw out old stuff and just breathe. Do you have any big plans for the season?
I am planning to reorganize my bookshelf. It is a small project, but it brings me a lot of joy to see everything in order.
That is so you, Emily. I love it. Organized bookshelf, organized mind.
Speaking of resetting and clearing things out, we have a very relevant menu today.
Oh, what kind of reset are we talking about?
Well, first, we'll discuss the EU taking a firm stand against infinite scrolling and addictive design.
Whoa, really? That is definitely a reset for my thumb. I scroll way too much.
Exactly that. They're targeting features like infinite scrolling under the Digital Services Act, or DSA.
I knew it was bad for me, but is it really illegal now?
Not illegal per se, but the Commission has identified it as a systemic risk to mental health.
Systemic risk? That sounds intense. What do they mean by that?
They mean that the design itself creates behavioral addictions. They actually call the state it induces autopilot mode.
Autopilot mode. That is painfully accurate. I seriously zone out and lose track of time. It's like I'm not even choosing to watch anymore.
Precisely. It's a common struggle. The EU is concerned that these algorithms exploit our psychology to keep us glued to the screen.
It's scary when you think about it. We're fighting against supercomputers designed to keep us scrolling.
That is why the regulatory push is happening. They want to make sure users stay in control.
So, does this apply to everyone or just TikTok?
TikTok is under the microscope right now, receiving preliminary findings, but it applies to all major platforms, including Meta's Facebook and Instagram.
Wow, so my whole feed might change. What happens to the companies if they don't stop?
The stakes are quite high. If platforms fail to comply, they could face fines of up to 6% of their global annual revenue. 6% of global revenue? That's huge! It is indeed. For a company like ByteDance or Meta, that's billions of dollars.
That definitely gets their attention. It shows just how serious the EU is about protecting users' digital well-being.
It might force a major redesign of how we consume content. We might actually have to click next again.
Imagine that, actually pausing to decide if I want to see more. Wild concept.
It is about bringing intention back to our usage, rather than just passively consuming.
I like that. Intentional scrolling sounds much healthier than doom scrolling.
It would certainly give our thumbs a break.
And my eyes, they are tired of the blue light.
Speaking of burnout and needing a break, let's move on to our second story. Adult gap years are becoming a real trend.
I've always been jealous of students taking gap years. Why should they have all the fun?
That's exactly the sentiment. More professionals are taking extended breaks, often called mini-sabbaticals, to recover from burnout.
A mini-sabbatical sounds perfect. How long are we talking? Like a long weekend?
A bit longer than that. Usually it refers to a break of 1 to 3 months. It's not just about vacation, it's about spiritual regeneration.
3 months off?
That sounds dreamy. I could actually learn a hobby or just sleep. Researchers have identified 3 types of sabbaticals. The first is the working holiday, where you pursue a passion project.
A passion project? Like writing a book or starting a garden?
Exactly. The second type is the free dive. This is for adventure, like hiking a trail or traveling to a new continent.
That speaks to me. I want to go backpacking in South America. The Andes Mountains are calling.
And the third type is the quest. This is often for people recovering from burnout to find a new direction in life.
A quest? That sounds so epic. But Emily, the big problem is money.
How does anyone afford this? That is the big question. Financial discipline is key, of course. Many people save up specifically for this freedom fund.
A freedom fund. I need to start one of those. But rent doesn't stop just because I'm on a quest.
True. One creative solution some people use is house sitting. You watch someone's home while they're away, so your accommodation is free.
Oh, that's smart. I could stay in a nice house in Spain and just exist?
Exactly. It lowers the cost barrier significantly, and it allows you to truly disconnect and rethink your life path.
I feel like I'd come back a completely different person, or maybe I wouldn't come back at all.
That is a risk for your employer. But seriously, companies are starting to see the value in refreshed employees too.
I hope my boss is listening to this episode. Hey, I need a spiritual regeneration.
It is worth a conversation. Prioritizing your mental health is a long-term investment in your career.
You're right. I'm going to start looking into house-sitting gigs right now.
Finally, our third topic today is for when you do take that gap year. Let's talk about the travel essentials for 2026.
Yes, what do I need to buy? I love new travel gadgets.
The theme for 2026 is sustainable and tech smart. First on the in list, sustainable packing cubes.
Packing cubes are a lifesaver. Everything stays so organized. What makes them sustainable?
They're made from recycled materials now. It's all about efficiency and reducing waste.
Nice. I can be organized and eco-friendly. What else is on the list?
The next must-have is a universal USB-C power bank. The days of carrying 5 different cables are over.
Thank goodness. I hate that tangle of wires in my bag. One cable to rule them all.
Exactly. And because of the EU mandate, almost everything uses USB-C now. It makes packing much simpler.
That is a huge relief. What about clothes? Any trends there?
Yes, merino wool is back in a big way. It's odor-resistant and temperature-regulating, so you can pack less.
Oh, I've heard of that. You can wear it for days without washing?
Within reason, Lisa. But yes, it's perfect for that minimalist travel style.
Okay, so what should I leave behind?
Well, you might be surprised. They're saying to leave behind the bulky neck pillow.
What? No, my neck pillow is my best friend on long flights. How will I sleep?
They suggest smaller, more ergonomic alternatives like the J-pillow. The old U shape is considered too bulky and inefficient now.
I guess I can see that. It does take up half my carry-on. I always feel silly carrying it around the terminal.
Exactly. It's about traveling lighter and smarter. Another item to leave is the single-use power bank.
The cheap ones? Yeah, they never last long anyway.
Less is more is the motto for 2026. Prioritize quality, multifunctional gear.
Okay, I'm sold. I'll ditch the pillow and get some recycled cubes. I'm ready for my mini-sabbatical.
You certainly sound ready, and you'll look stylish, too.
Thanks, Emily.
It sounds like you're ready to pack your bags. Let's quickly recap our stories today.
We talked about the EU stopping the doom scroll, taking a mini-sabbatical to recharge, and packing smart for 2026.
A very refreshing lineup. Do you remember the keyword we mentioned at the start?
Of course, it was reset. It fits everything we talked about today perfectly.
Exactly. Resetting your social media feed, your career with a gap year, or even your luggage.
I love that theme. I'm definitely going to hit the reset button on a few things this week. A digital detox might be my first step.
That sounds like a great plan. Maybe we can all try a mini reset this week. I'm in.
And to our listeners, if you enjoyed today's chat, please hit that subscribe button.
It's a good kind of click. And let us know in the comments, if you could take a 1-month sabbatical, where would you go?
I want to know everyone's dream destination. Mine is definitely somewhere with mountains.
We would love to hear your stories.
Thank you for tuning in. See you tomorrow. Bye.